I just got a bottle of Prime. Today we're going to do a taste test.
Prime, first taste. Nice? Nice?
It's the best thing I've ever had.
Ever? We've
This
only been
is
trying to
nice,
get it for 5 weeks.
Oh my God.
Back in the early days of YouTube, the company's motto was broadcast yourself. An obvious play on the idea that YouTube is giving the power of transmission back to the people. YouTube is your own little TV show with your little camera and your little videos and your little subscribers and your little influence over your audience. It's cute. It's really cute.
Hey everyone, my name is Tyler and I'm joined with the lovely
Zoe.
and we are gonna do a little video today.
And obviously YouTube grew into something much larger than that, to the point where you, the consumer of content, you're watching this video instead of watching whatever's on the old, dusty transmission image box. It's natural that the TV industry has changed. The industry always changes. But it's got to the point where YouTube is its own industry, free from the grips of the old pre-established world of television broadcasting. An industry of people who, to be honest, are just making it up as they go along. Chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain. Some speed dragon.
YouTube is definitely independent from the big industry, but YouTube eventually will start to mimic that big industry. YouTube is almost like when you're trapped on a desert island and you're far away from that familiar system of the world that you once knew. And to cope with that, you make little rules on this desert island to make it feel more like your own little world. The desert island becomes a microcosm of the world that you're familiar with. And that's what YouTube is, a microcosm of a much larger industry that you're trying to recreate from scratch. This sounds quite deep and complex, but let's be honest, the revolutionary microcosm of the big industry just looks like this. No, Mum, I don't want to watch TV with you. Can you not see that I'm watching the Sidemen taste test every flavour Prime? They just don't understand. Oh, Mum, can you buy me some Prime, actually? KSI said I need to try Prime. I want the lemon and lime flavour. Come on, everyone else on my TikTok feed is trying Prime. Mum, you're stressing me out so much. I need to watch some soap cutting videos. Part 1. These kids and their phones. Ugh. There's a huge audience of Gen Z and millennials who have kind of abandoned that classic watching on transmission, Saturday night telly kind of thing. They opt for the modern way of things. It's gotten to the point where a YouTube channel is just basically a TV show. TV shows have genres, and YouTube replaces those genres. It's the same thing, different font. Same different screen. Talk shows? No. A podcast. Comedy shows? No, we could do that on YouTube. Link in the description for that. How about some nice daytime cooking with Julia Child?
These onions are going to cook slowly first so that they're all cooked through tenderly.
Fuck Julia Child. We have binging with Babish. One supreme falls and another one rises. The traditional mode of TV became a staple in people's homes and was always there to provide entertainment whenever they needed it. And that's exactly what YouTube does. A lot of people take comfort in this kind of content, but what makes the industry actually work? Money. Spoiler alert, when Jimmy Fallon did the Ben & Jerry's Tonight dough, he wasn't really thinking about the artistry and integrity of the ice cream industry. He wanted a piece of that Ben & Jerry's money. It doesn't even need to be said. Of course, the industry needs to make money to work. But the interesting thing, and reason I'm making this video, is that the more a YouTube channel is becoming more like a TV show, the weirder the hybrid between classic money-making schemes and YouTube stuff. You know, like YouTube stuff.
These glasses have changed my life.
Even though I keep comparing YouTube to the big industry, it's obvious that there's differences, like big differences, tonal differences. Like YouTube is more about hype and views, but the TV industry, they've made it onto the big channel. They don't really need the hype. It's more about maintaining what they have. For me, like the beginning of the YouTube kind of shifting into the mainstream would be like the kind of 2010s, Zoella, PewDiePie, Harlem Shake, ukulele strumming kind of era. Hi guys, I've got this little tub of Vaseline. Literally the best product I've ever used. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Some of the most popular content on YouTube is actually made for children. And I was a child in the 2010s, like some of my earliest memories of YouTube. And like everyone else, I watched that garbage content. I ate it up with a spoon. I loved it. However, I'm proud to say I never purchased any of those YouTuber books. Oh, Jesus. Oof. This is a bit off topic, but I remember the first time like seeing YouTuber merch go really bad was Zoella when she got exposed for not actually writing her book. Oh my god, I love it. The drama. The drama. It was me who wrote Zoella's book. I was the ghostwriter. Oh, and then there was this whole thing where she had an advent calendar and it was like £50. It wasn't even 24 doors for the 24 days of Christmas. And then they opened it up and it was like pom-poms and like horrible cookie cutters.
We have dun 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 dun. I mean, for fuck's sake.
The f***ing audacity. I love it. I love it. You know, I don't blame Zoella. Like, this is classic YouTuber marketing. She had bills to pay, mouths to feed, you know, the rent was due. Maybe this is childhood ignorance, but like the kind of sponsorship and product placement that you'd see in YouTube videos back then, they were not as extreme as today. Like a modern example of a YouTuber like that, I guess would be Mr. Beast. And like every video is like, I have this bar of chocolate, I just built a chocolate factory.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real. I recreated every single set from Squid Game. Gasté $2,5 millones en este.
I don't remember Zoella being like, I have an advent calendar. She had grace, decorum, elegance. The new marketing strategy for YouTube, I guess, is just hype. Oh yeah, and like intense product placement. And like a conflation between a YouTube persona and the product, like they go together. And this is what I'm now calling the Willy Wonka-fication of YouTube. Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a very well-known character. He's the Jeff Bezos of the chocolate world. He has his factory, he has workers, he has distributors, he has enemies. You know, you've got the main book, the 70s film, the Tim Burton film, oh, and I guess like the Timothée Chalamet one, which we'll see how that turns out, I guess. The character of Willy Wonka is a highly concentrated allegory for consumerism. And consumerism is a theme riddled throughout the story. And like Roald Dahl obviously knew this. He wrote in the greedy kids, the poor kids. And you have Willy Wonka kind of written as this mythical creature who never leaves his factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and more specifically Willy Wonka himself, represents an extreme kind of consumerism.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet!
It's written as a funny book because it's so extreme. And obviously you have like the chewing gum and the burping gas or whatever. But I think the comedy is actually rooted in the fact that obviously nothing like this could happen in real life. Right? Right? Right?
Mr. Beast has become the real-life Willy Wonka, and he's hiding 10 golden tickets in 10 random chocolate bars. And for a chance to be in one of his videos, I'm gonna buy 10,000
Wouldn't it be something, Charlie, to open a bar of candy and find a golden ticket inside?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the sign of our times, the symbol of the havoc, the mad craze that's sweeping the world today.
If you've got kids, chances are they're prime mad. The energy drinks are flying off the shelves and are a collector's item.
The first girl that finds a golden ticket gets a £1 bonus in a pay packet! What do you think of that?
It's kind of weird that YouTube can now genuinely be compared to such an intense parody of consumerism. Like, Willy Wonka is nothing compared to Mr. Beast. So much so that Mr. Beast kind of sees the joke and he kind of runs with it.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real life. Oh my gosh, it is Candyland in here. Look at the river. Oh my God, it flew so high. Look at the river.
There's something kind of sinister about the current state of YouTube, you know? Like, how does this? Hi guys, there's a link in the description for my new advent calendar. Even if you don't buy it, I'd really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Turn into this. We're gonna taste test every flavor prime. Part 2. Drink the prime.
Cheers!
This drink has made quite a name for itself because of all the, you know, the clout that comes along with it. Like, there's so many videos of kids being like really excited to get their hands on one of these.
Nice? Nice?
That's the best thing I've ever had.
Ever? We've only been trying to get it for 5 weeks.
Cool, blimey, a real prime. Wow, man, that's the most flavoursome drink I've ever had in my life. Oh, the flavour. Wow.
Yes, we've got Prime! Literally, Mum, how long have I been trying to get Prime? As soon as it more or less come out.
Yeah.
That is, that is gorgeous.
Is it?
And like, it was quite an ordeal to get this bottle. Like, it's just a prop, but like, we had to go on a quest to get this. Prime is supposed to be available in a lot of major UK supermarkets. And then you go to your local one, and then there's this on the door. Prime Hydration Drink Range. We have currently sold out of these products. We apologise for any inconvenience, which basically translates to, stop asking if we have Prime, we don't have any Prime. For God's sake, I'm making minimum wage. Stop asking about the Prime drinks. It's weird, I wonder where all that Prime is going, you know, where's it? Why is it not on the shelf?
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing? The absolute frenzy around this drink, like, it's absolutely unreal. Like, going back to the idea that the marketing strategy for this is just hype, but like, it's not the good kind of hype. Like, this has the kind of hype where it's like an illegal, underground, prime smuggling effort. Like, in order to get this prop, me and my friend Herbie went to central London, where like Prime is like golden nuggets. You see them in these like American candy stores, which are like always empty. I'm sure they're like money laundering schemes because you never see anyone in there. But anyway, you walk past one of these shops and you just be like, dude, there's a Prime. And then you go into the shop and it's priced at like £12. I'm not spending £12 on a Prime. Like, it's giving unethical consumption under capitalism vibes, and I'm not into it. No, I'm not spending £12 on this. But then like, by some miracle, like Herbie texts me out of the blue, about to board a train. And here it is, the almighty bottle of Prime.
We got Prime, boys. We got Prime.
Like, we need to stop and look at ourselves. Like, the question is, how the hell did we get to this point? Like, why does it take so much effort for me to get one of these things?
Oh my god. Come for my cans of Prime and some sweets.
So you got 12 packs off,
yeah,
and you give me £1,200 for that, and you got
£1,200. £1,200 for a 12-pack for a drink that originally cost £2.
What's the best shopping way, kid?
Breaking Way!
Abdul, come closer.
Abdul, go back!
There's this video of all these kids going crazy for Prime and like snatching it and grabbing it and all this stuff. And then there's this like fully grown man who like snatches the Prime out of this poor child's hand.
Hell, man. You're only allowed one bottle of each, by the way. Who took them out of your hand? You're taking fucking 4 or 5 bottles, you idiots.
Honestly, I would do the same. Like, oh, it's mine.
Yeah, no, yeah. Where's your brother?
Like, at this point, what is the difference between this and this?
Listen, I'll buy it from you. I'll give you $50 and a new bicycle.
Are you crazy? I'd give him $500 for that ticket. I'm going to sell your ticket for $500.
Don't let anyone have it. Take it straight home. You understand?
You run straight home with that bottle of Prime, Charlie. Run straight home. Don't let anyone stop you. The average consumer of Prime is like a young, impressionable little lad who loves the sideman, loves all those YouTuber boxing matches, probably emotionally stunted by watching too many Andrew Tate videos, makes their parents buy all the trash the internet tells them to buy. And obviously Logan Paul and KSI know this about their audience, so they play it up within their own content. And this is where we start to see the merge between Willy Wonka consumerism and classic YouTube cliche. Like going bald for Prime. Classic YouTube. Like very Shane Dawson, like mental breakdown vibes. The way in which YouTube hype building works is the conflation between the product and the producer. Like Willy Wonka is the man behind the Wonka bars, so the Wonka bars get that Willy Wonka clout. And like Logan and KSI make Prime, so Prime gets that Logan and KSI clout. But what do Logan Paul and KSI have that Willy Wonka doesn't have? Content, damn it. Loads of content.
These glasses have changed my life.
In a way, there's no separation between the product itself and the content made to advertise the product. When little Timmy buys a Prime, he's buying a souvenir of his parasocial relationship with Logan Paul and KSI. And the more hype around this drink, the more Logan Paul and KSI play into it. I swear, whenever you see Logan Paul, like he always has a Prime in his hand. Like it's like a permanent extension of his arm. Like it's always there. Okay, let's look at one shot from this random clip from Logan's podcast recently. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 bottles of Prime. Oh, and just out of view, you have these 2 bottles here. 15 bottles of Prime. That's £1,500 right there. There's so many examples of Logan with like a conveniently placed Prime in his hand. Like, oh, I wonder how that got there, you know? I like to think that Logan Paul always has a Prime connected to his arm. I came on to let you know that your grandma just passed away. Oh, this? No, it's just Prime. No, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about the Prime. No, your grandma just passed away. That's what's important here. Honestly, I think this is quite a smart way to market a product. Permanently attaching yourself and your content to your product basically means that every time a kid plucks one of these off the shelf, they are buying the Logan Paul and KSI brand. And just to be clear, like, I don't think it's immoral to sell your brand as a content creator. Like, in many ways, that's important for a content creator. It's just that, like, where does the line between product and video end, and where does it start? Like, it makes no sense. It gets to the point where the product is the video, and the video is the product. The product is the video, and the video is the product. The product is the video.
Are you okay, honey? You've barely touched your Mr. Beast Festivals chocolate bar.
The product is the video, and the video is the product.
The product is the video, and the video is the...
Part 3, the new reality of YouTube. I want to go back to this idea of a microcosm of the real world on a desert island. When you're trapped on a desert island and you do things that resemble life before, it's taking everything you remember from that big system and redoing it in order to make sense out of the vastness of this new thing. And there is nothing more vast than the YouTube algorithm. So therefore we must redo what the big industry did, right? That's how we make sense of this new uncertain territory. We do business like those who came before us, play into the larger system. Maybe it was inevitable that as YouTube got bigger, the more it began to mirror the industry that it claimed to replace. Obviously, like, product placement and sponsorships is one thing, but I don't think anyone could predict that YouTube would eventually become this.
I recreated Willy Wonka-fication.
It's so intense, like he built the factory. And then for some reason, like, Gordon Ramsay just shows up out of nowhere.
Can you work and talk at the same time?
That Mr. Beast tastes like shit. That tastes like garbage. Like, this is not a YouTube video, this is a TV show, but not like a good TV show, like a TV show that's just made as an ad for chocolate. You know how they make like films and TV that are just made to pump out merchandise? That's the reality of a lot of content. Prime, Feastables, everything. Life imitating art, imitating life, imitating art, imitating chocolate, imitating Mr. Beast. My favourite Mr. Beast moment might be when he pleaded with his young fans to go to the local stores and clean up the display of chocolate to make it more presentable.
Somebody terrorized this whole aisle. I gotta fix this, Ethan.
Go, please get on it, Eddie. Do that service. Eddie is now being put to work.
I'm not gonna lie, like, Mr. Beast is scary. Like, this man is consumerism personified. His thumbnails are haunting. He's so rich, he could probably buy me and my entire family. The man is just scary. And to be honest with you, I think this side of YouTube is only going to get bigger and more influential. There's probably going to be a new Prime flavour soon. You know, Mr. Beast is probably going to make the Mr. Beast taco. You know, in a way, YouTube becoming like a consumerist hellhole probably isn't that bad. Let me put it this way, like, would you rather have this version of Logan Paul and KSI?
I think there's someone hanging right there.
Or would you rather have this version of Logan Paul and KSI? I could do without either of those versions, but you have to make a choice. You have to. YouTube is our own little island away from the big industry. And the more that desert island begins to replicate the world from memory, the more chance it will become that. And then we forget the beauty of the desert island. Like, that desert island was so beautiful in its natural resources. What if YouTube truly replaces TV and it becomes exactly what it claims to escape from? You know, broadcast yourself becomes good luck fucking broadcasting yourself next to Mr. Beast and Logan Paul. The key difference between YouTube and the TV is that everyone on YouTube has access to the broadcast, as long as they have a camera, you know, a light and all this stuff. But over time, it just becomes, you know, the bourgeoisie ruling over with their prime bottles. I miss Julia Child. I was too harsh on Julia Child. Julia Child would never sell you this sugar syrup, you know. Julia Child would never force you to clean up her supermarket shelf. Julia Child would never make trashed content. Julia Child would never cure a blind person. Julia Child will never go to the Japanese suicide forest. Julia Child will never snatch a prime off the shelf.
I mean, you have a thick crust here.
No.
Which is basically what you want.
And it smells so good, all that cheese.
So good. With a glass of red wine, a piece of cheese,
Yeah.
or maybe no cheese, a fruit, and you have a meal.
That's real hot.
Oh, good.
You have asbestos mouth. Wait a minute, it smells so good.